Hello there, how you doing? Jeff DeSocio from the Talent Opportunity Connector. And what I like to do today is I would like to provide a tips for hiring managers to have a successful interview process and hire the right candidate. So, as you probably know, normally a lot of videos, a lot of tips are always for the candidate side of the interview. The candidate's got to have the right resume, a good resume. They got to brand themselves well. They got to make the impression. They got to ask the right questions. Right? And, the hiring company will just sit back and get the answers and make decisions. But don't you know that it actually should be switched where the company is going to make the right impression to the right candidate? Especially with a lot of the platforms out there like LinkedIn and Glassdoor, it's more important than ever for the company to make a good impression and make the right decision and hire the right candidates. So, what I like to do today is provide three tips for hiring managers so they can have a successful interview process and select the right candidate. The first one is simple: know what you want. I've seen this so many times when I was interviewing for a role back in the day till even now working with some hiring managers. Some don't even have a job description. First thing in the world is have a good job description that's solid, that has everything you need. Take out the stuff that you don't need. Really to make it easy for you to select the right candidate, when it comes to decision time. And second part of that, it's like part 1A is know your interview team. Select your interview team and the role for each person, right, to have in that interview team, and make sure there's a solid communication between interviewers. So that way it makes the impression that your company's got their ducks together. I had one time, you know, I was on an interview and somebody just first time looked at my resume and they didn't even know what they were like, I don't even know why I'm here. And you're like, wow, well, this company's got it together. This dude's got it together. So, that leads to tip two is be ready. Be ready for your interview. Be ready for the tough questions. There are some smart candidates out there. Hey, they're gonna ask some tough questions. Know your company's mission. Know the evolution of this role. Is it gonna grow to other things in the company? Know this, the 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, 1 year plan for, that role, the group, the department in the organization. How is it going to fit into the organization? What's going to make that person successful in your organization? Your organization. The candidates there, they're learning more about you. You need to understand that. And each interviewer in the process needs to understand what the success factors are in your organization. All right, so be ready. It goes, both tips are like knowing what you want and being ready are probably the most critical part of the interview process. And then the third tip is make a decision, take a chance, be a risk taker. You're not going to get the perfect candidate. That's impossible. You're not going to get the candidate that ticks every single box in the job interview. It's going to get along 100% with every interviewer. There's always going to be an interviewer that's like, I'm not sure, right? So you had to have build a success matrix. What's the must-haves, nice-to-haves, personality. Not only from a skill set perspective, hard skill, but also a soft skill type perspective. Because that's I've seen this over and over and over. Awesome candidate, great candidate. Every hiring manager loves them, right? There's that one person, Sally Joe, that's like, I don't really like that person. And then you start from scratch again. So be a little bit of a risk taker. I was a hiring manager for 20 years. I've taken a lot of risks hiring candidates, and some went on to be very successful. And you're like, you know what? I'm glad I made that selection. So hopefully this helps you out. Recap, knowing what you want, be ready for the tough questions, and be ready to make that decision. Because every time that role is, that role in your company is, if it's critical, especially in sales, and you're losing revenue, the longer it takes to hire a person, the worse it is. So If you have any questions, remember I'm a hiring manager. I've been there for a long time. Reach out to me here via this video or through my email, jeff@broadreach.io. Have a great day.